We're live. We're live.
We're live. Welcome to episode 8.
Is it
I
8?
think.
Episode we missed last week. Tyler was traveling. He was in. Can I tell? He was in Colorado.
Yeah. Can you
Yeah.
tell who our one listener?
Yeah. Can I tell Jeffrey? Thanks, Jeff, for tuning in to this week's cast. Sorry we missed last week. You probably thought we were dead, considering what we talk about here on the cast. Don't worry.
We died and we were reborn.
We were reborn. I'm still smoking cigarettes. I don't want to be, but I'm gonna get off of them soon. Hopefully, Tyler's still geek barring. Because Lana Del Rey does. No, he'll never stop.
That's right.
Look it up.
I'm liking this format, like how we're holding the mic.
I like it.
So
I
it's
like
not
it.
so bad.
I like it much better than the stands, and I think it's a better listening experience for Jeffrey.
I
Thanks,
think it is
Jeff.
better.
But yeah, we just saw Pete Holmes, dude. That was sick.
Pete Holmes is a funny guy.
Fucking love Pete Holmes, dude. Shout out
guy.
Pete Holmes. Keep it crispy, y'all.
He came out fiery.
Fucking swinging, dude. And he fucking was hitting some home runs, dog.
The first guy was okay too.
He was pretty. I liked
He
him.
was on there for longer than a normal opener. Usually,
was good.
Usually they'll have two guys.
It was clearly like Pete's homie. He literally said he used to be his roommate. He was a cool dude.
Dude, how the fuck do
What
I
do
get it so my messages don't pop up?
You go into settings and then you hit messages and then you hit disable notifications.
Oh.
System settings, brother. Or it might be in messages settings, but
I've tried that before. We're just going to do that real quick.
Let's just go through it. You can also scroll up and search messages. Like, yeah. Maybe it's in messages settings then. Then open messages. Get in there, and then you open preferences. Once it opens. Yep. Yeah, so hit the messages up there. And then settings there.
I swear I've done this
I'm
before.
an IT guy. Yeah. So just unclick all the notify shit. And then go to iMessage. It's right there. Yeah, I think that. Let's do a little test. I'll text you. See if it pops up.
Yeah.
Stand by. I'm gonna
Well-
I'm gonna send you a Gen Moji.
I don't know, because, like, you teach, right? You still teaching?
Yeah, I teach every Monday.
Yeah, so you don't want, like, on your computer, right? Like,
No, it's not
Oh.
on my computer anymore.
Oh,
I
well,
stopped
there was
doing that.
there was a time when you were like,
I
fuck.
started teaching on Zoom. It was terrible.
And
It
you're like,
was-
or like,
fucking
fuck,
horrible.
Fuck, and you're screen sharing your screen, and then
dude, it still happens to me in meetings sometimes. It's a fucking nightmare. Yeah, but when you're teaching, especially when you're leading a group of young people, and they're like, none of them have their cameras.
dude,
on.
I swear to God,
None of them have their cameras on.
Yeah,
and you're
well-
just like speaking to like 15
the
blank
void-
blank
yeah,
screens, and you're like, I'm the only one carrying this conversation.
the
And if your
void.
shit doesn't work, one time my microphone wasn't working, one time my headphones weren't working, so I couldn't hear them for a sec, and that was like not good because I was just like I was speaking to the void, and then I realized 15 minutes had gone by and nobody had said shit, and
Did-
even
I don't think my shit popped up, so you're good.
I didn't text you yet. I got distracted. Sorry.
It's working.
I want to change the timer thing again. I forgot how to do that. Is it here? Yeah, here it is. Nice.
Nice, dude. This is pretty solid.
Yeah, we're getting better at it, dude. It took us like 3 minutes to set up this time, whereas at the first time it took us like a fucking hour.
Yeah.
You know? Just
Yeah.
how shit goes. You gotta the more you do anything, the better you are at it.
That's right. Ain't that
You
the
know,
truth?
Even if it's having a dumb podcast where you talk about drugs and cum with your best friend.
That's right.
We're getting better at we're getting better at facilitating those very much needed conversations for you, Jeffrey. Thank you for tuning in, Jeff. We love you. Jeffrey, don't you dare go back to that trank, okay? It's bad.
Don't go back to that trank.
Do not do it, dude. It's bad for you. It's only for dogs, okay? It'll create really terrible lesions all around your body. It's already happening, Jeff. We see it. We've seen your Instagram posts, and we're concerned. You need to stop, okay? Do some mushrooms. Smoke some weed. Go to the beach. Stop with the trank. Seriously. Seriously.
Sometimes I do think that
Sometimes you do trank.
no. Sometimes I do think that
Okay, I haven't texted
I am
you.
I am
I'm
this
sorry.
I am this is just a super hot take, and I know addiction, and especially to hard shit, is complicated. But like if they just it's like the government wants the people sick. Like I think
No, yeah.
I think like if they
yeah.
gathered a group of
Oh,
people.
it didn't work, dude.
No.
I'm gonna figure this out.
No, let's not worry about
No,
it
there's
right now.
options right here. Wait, right click. Notification settings. Is this like a special secret menu? It pulled up system settings, but nothing happened. Oh, I just crashed your computer. No, I didn't.
Dude, don't worry about it.
I'm gonna worry, dude. No, this is part of my job is doing shit like this. I'm gonna worry about it. This doesn't make sense. I will figure it out. It might be in notification settings, just like in general. Yeah, notifications. Hell yeah, dude. And then here we go. Allow notifications.
No, off. Just
Yeah,
turn it off.
just turn all of it off. But you want some notifications.
No, I don't want any of them on my laptop.
Hold on. No, dude, you do need like critical alerts and shit. And like, just give me a sec.
This is on messages though. That's it.
Oh.
So it's just you're on messages. It's
I figured it
There's
out.
two
I figured it
menus.
out. It's notifications, folks. If you're trying to turn off the notifications on your messages, it's not within the system settings. There's no messages in system settings. You have to search notifications.
okay. All right, then let me go back. I want to go back to my messages now, though, and go back to the other settings and re-click those other ones because I don't know what that was.
Yeah. Do that, and then name is mentioned. You didn't have those two clicked. You just had the first two clicked. You could play with sound effects, but you're not going to get any notifications now. I'm going to try it again. I'm going to do a Genmoji because we're in 2025. The world is burning, but you can create your own. The world is burning and there's genocides happening, but you can create your own emoji, folks.
What I was gonna
It's a
say.
beautiful place. We're having fun. Yeah, they're cool. We're fucking badass bitches. There's genocides happening. You can create your own emoji, though, guys. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
What I was gonna say
It's
is
fucking fun. Have fun.
Shut the
Fucking drink samosas in the sunshine. Who gives a fuck?
what I-
Celebrate. It's celebration time. We're having fun out here. It's hot girl summer. Who gives a shit? It's not. It's terrible. Sorry.
Dude, no, it's not.
Fucking spitting right now.
What I was gonna say
I'm
is.
gonna mute myself. Let
No,
Tyler say
what I
stuff.
was gonna say, no, because I want you to respond. Hot take, but if you gathered a group of fentanyl addicted people off the street, and like took them and like put them in an ayahuasca ceremony, I feel like that would be helpful. Don't you think? I've never done ayahuasca.
I don't think either of us are qualified to make that. I mean,
it couldn't hurt, right?
No, it could for sure hurt, dude. Somebody in that deep of a psychological and spiritual hole.
It might
like,
it might
opening yourself
reset. It
up to
might like
that.
reset them, dude.
I don't think either
you
of
go-
us
if you're-
are equipped. Dude, we're not. No, we can't suggest that. I have no idea if that would help.
Well, you go-
I think eventually it would help after you're through with the withdrawals.
I
but
think
if-
what I
Tyler-
think what they
Tyler,
say.
Tyler, if you're like, yo, you want to go through withdrawals on the hardest psychedelic trip of your life?
Yeah, I think
You'd have to be doing fentanyl at the time.
I think what they say is you do have to get sober before you do that.
That's what I'm saying. You can't just throw somebody like, yo, you know how like fucking, you know how like withdrawals are like the worst thing that you can experience as a human being. You know how it's like the most painful thing ever. You want to have like a deep 6-hour psychedelic trip where you will already vomit, and just like fucking balls to the wall, meet your maker as you're fucking shitting your brains out because you don't have the drug in your system that you want. That sounds terrible, dude. I don't think that I
yeah,
wouldn't.
No, you're right. It would probably not. It's probably not recommended.
Not if you scoop them up, but like if you went to a rehab facility at the end of their month after they went through hell and high water.
Yeah, but they don't after. But like the system doesn't do that. They'll be like, okay, you're in rehab now. You're clean now. You need to go to AA.
no drugs,
I
no
think
drugs
what they
ever.
Should do before they go to, they should do.
Or it should be an option. Like, do you want to seek But there's not enough funding for anything right now, so there's not going to be
Yeah.
funding for fucking mushrooms. You know,
Yeah.
unfortunately, the only way to have a guided ceremony is to pay a shit ton of money.
Does Pete Holmes do
It's,
mushrooms?
it's capitalism. Yeah, he does, dude.
Does he talk about
He
it?
talks about it. Yeah, he's done it. He's done a lot of psychedelic experiences from what I know. He speaks very highly of it, but he's also like, as you should be, like And I would say this too. You should be like respectful of the power that it has and not take it lightly.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you're doing high doses. Like, I knew some people that would take like a shit ton of mushrooms and like go to like a really loud party with people that they didn't know. I'm like, why are you doing that to yourself? That's terrifying.
Some people like that.
But like they inevitably like they would have a good time for some of the time, and then they would have a terrible time, and then the next day they were like, "That was a fucking movie, dude. I love it. I love being terrified for my life in a group in a room full of strangers, thinking that they know my innermost thoughts. It's like, what are you fucking doing?
I've had that experience on. There's just
I mean,
there's so many times
I mean,
where
to
I've
each
been
their
high
own.
as
I'm not trying to shame anybody. I just wouldn't want to do it.
so
You
many
know, if you want to
times-
do that, do your thing,
so many
dude.
times when you're like high as fuck on weed, just high with weed, and that's it. And you're at like in a big social event. You're like, this would be so much better not high.
Yeah, of course.
Or much easier to deal with.
Alcohol doesn't do that though. You're like, this is great. That
Well,
I'm
that's the point
trash.
that's the point of alcohol.
Yeah, it's a terrible liar. Alcohol's a liar, folks. Sorry, I need to stop doing the whole like, hey, folks, shut the fuck up. dude."
You don't. Yeah, Sam never says folks.
Hey,
ever.
folks.
Hey,
Jeff.
Podcast voice.
Shut the fuck up,
Nah, dude,
Sam.
it's
Dude,
fine,
Pete Holmes
bro.
had. I'm sorry. I love Pete. I love you, Pete. I worship at your altar. I burn offerings for you every day. But you do have a distinct stand-up voice. It's like, hey guys, yeah, and then this happened. It's like, come on, dude, be real with us.
Yeah, I think they all do that.
I know
though.
yeah, I know, but
Some
like,
don't, but
it's also like the phenomena of like I listen to hours and hours of him having conversations with people, which is obviously a
Yeah,
different.
he's a lot
way
more
of-
calm.
It's a different way of talking. you
Yeah,
know?
it's a lot more calm. He came out just like, hey,
And
I thought
also-
he was fucking drunk for a sec.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he had that. He had that energy, that like wild, fast and loose, Petey.
Yeah, that's good. It was fun.
But my point in this is that like I think you put on a voice for everything, and even if we're being as casual as we can on a podcast, like we're still gonna have a like I would wager that Pete has a different way of speaking, like when he's not when he doesn't have a microphone.
well,
in
he was
his
a-
face.
yeah, he's a little softer maybe.
But it's just
At
it's
least
just like
when
the
I've
nature
seen him
of.
talk in his podcast or in thing, like he's a little softer.
But that's what I'm saying is like there's like stand up. There's one voice, and then podcast is like a more casual one. But I feel like there's an even casual, more deeper. It's an onion, dude.
Yeah.
It's an onion of performance. In the same way that like the way that I talk in my job is much different the way that I talk to you. I mean, I talk to some homies like I talk to you. Like I'm dropping swear words and being a cool bad boy. But
All right, dude.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
you have to it's a
and like
performance,
it's also
dude.
like how I talk. Like I'm not gonna talk to my grandma how I talk to you.
It's a yes, I know. I feel like we talked about this in the
I
last.
hope
podcast.
you're stoned. That was one of Pete's things today. I hope you're stoned, folks, because we're stoned.
No-
I am. Tyler's not. Tyler's actually being like stone cold sober right now. Stone cold sober Steve Austin. It's just fucking
I'm just
ripping
already-
fucking like 6 geek
I don't
bars
know,
a
dude.
day,
I don't know. Like
He
what-
goes back to the he switches up smoke shops.
when I
every
went
day.
to Wiz and smoked, like I got high, but I was the same. Like you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I do
don't
know what you mean. Yeah.
I
no,
was
yeah.
just like I don't know. I was
Yeah.
so I don't know. I'm just kind of rolling.
Yeah, dude,
Um,
roll. I'm proud of you. It's
what I-
fucking
what I
cool.
would- what I was gonna-
It's inspirational, except for the fucking geek bars sucking on sponges.
What I was gonna say is icy mints.
Look up what's on the inside of a geek bar, folks. Hey, folks. Look up what's
Dude,
on the
every
inside
time,
of a geek
every
bar.
time they're like, you need to like these other brands are better, and I'm like, no.
You're like, I need that sweet
Well,
chemical.
no, they gave me.
ass.
They were like the Flume's better. This
I
one's better.
like some of the when I was vaping I did like some of the flumes better.
I
I stopped like with a flume. My last thing was a
I know,
flume.
I know, I remember, but
I like the
there
flumes.
was one of
the Vienna Blast strawberry. It's called Vienna because they can't call it the flavor that it is because the government's like no.
Okay, this is something. Okay, where we live, I don't. Do they know where we live?
I don't think they know.
We're not gonna say
specifically.
right now.
I don't know if we can like say the specifics because it's like different in other places.
It doesn't
in the
matter.
state that
But
we
what
live.
I think where we live has got to have one of the most smoke shops of all places.
There's so many,
There's
but
so-
also
dude, there's
no, dude,
more.
when
th-
I was in New York, there was like there was
yeah,
there's
no,
a
I
shit
believe
ton.
that. I believe that. But like,
And
we're not in like a big, huge like city area, really.
I mean, we're in a
No, I know we're in a sprawling like. I know there's a shitload of people, but like for like
there's a lot of people, brother. But you're right.
Can I say the street like over like Hamilton? It doesn't matter. We're on Hamilton.
There's a lot of Hamilton.
Yeah, exactly.
Street, yeah.
So on Hamilton over there,
Yeah.
like
I know.
and there's more smoke shops than you think. Like I was like there's
it's like Starbucks now. I know they're everywhere, and they all have neon lights, and they're like, come
no,
in here and
so,
don't
like,
face reality.
When I drive over to
dude, I know. I
over
get
there,
it. Yeah, there's
one, and then there's another. Like I don't even think you have been to these ones, and they're right there. They're just you're not in your normal. Anyway, the point is, I went to one of them that I go to next to the post office.
Yep.
That's over there, and they're like, the Flume is better. It lasts longer.
It does last longer.
And I tried it, and it didn't last longer, and it didn't hit as hard. So I was like, I just went back to.
You got a bad nut.
Dude,
also, like you say, I smoke cigarettes very quickly, but the way that you smoke those is crazy to me. Like, what percentage are you at already? Oh, you're still at 99. Okay. That's good. You smoke those.
I bought this one.
I'm not even calling it vaping.
I bought this one about 3 hours ago. Yes.
But you weren't hitting it in Pete Holmes. You bought. So effectively, you got it an hour ago.
I went through 1.5 Zins because I went through
1.5.
I used two.
Like shoot it in half.
No, I used 2 Zins.
But you spit them.
But like I didn't get I didn't use one to its fullest potential. Which is how I go through Zins. I'm very wasteful.
Dude, I'm not. I keep them parked. What I do is I usually have 2 in my mouth. One is from the first 15 minutes. And then the other one is probably 15 minutes later where I'm like, I need fucking more. And then I take the first one out. I always park them in distinct places in my mouth. I'm telling you this not because I'm proud of it, but because I spend my brain energy thinking about this on a daily basis. And then when I do the new one, I take the oldest one out, and I just move the second oldest one to the oldest position. It's like a batter on deck situation. There's been situations where I'm like, let's juggle. Let's do 3. You know, I'm a crazy dude.
It's like a rotating, I understand.
Yeah. And like, but then also there's layers to it. It gets complex. Like then when I'm like, I don't want the initial burn to be in the same place every time I want to experience a new burn. And so then sometimes the oldest position in my mouth becomes the new position.
Yeah, I was about to say, because if you kept the same positions and you kept the same,
you don't get the same
rotation.
Yeah,
there'd be one part of your gums that's just like withered away.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming with me on this journey. Because
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, thank you. I knew you would.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I want to wither my mouth at a consistent rate. You know.
See, what I do with Zins is I'll have one for like a full hour, and then that one will be done. I'll pop a new one, and then I'll have it for like 10 minutes. And be like, I don't want this anymore.
And
then I throw it out.
Dude,
no. Because I don't want it. It's too much. And then like 10 minutes later, I'm like, okay, I'm ready for a new one.
Dude, that's like the equivalent of like in movies and TV shows when like a character sparks a cigarette, takes one hit off of it, and then is like, I'm gonna throw this in the street like a fuck. Like, I get so mad, dude. That makes me. Or when they hit a cigarette like twice, then they put it out for effect. I'm like, that cigarette used to be a sentient plant. Respect that cigarette and smoke all of it, dude. You fucking loser.
This is a breath of.
Don't be fucking wasteful,
dog. This is
a
breath of fresh air. When I was at the
cigarettes
the
usually are
the music festival like last month, there was a lady. There was a lady that came up to us during the Sublime. There was next to us. She was like, "Oh, thank God! Like we're next to people that smoke weed because I had I pulled like my joint bag out."
Yeah.
'Cause there's just like kids there and shit. I don't know. It was a little bit different. And she's like, "Thank God we're next to people that smoke weed." And then they brought out all their joints. But then in her ear, she had like a half-smoked cigarette.
And you're like,
she's saving that. That's kind of cool. I haven't seen that.
That's dope. I feel that. I do that
like
sometimes.
in her ear.
Sometimes I'll tear off part of a cigarette and, be like, I'll only smoke this. I'm a good boy. I just smoke like.
Save the rest for your weed.
Sometimes I throw it out. I'm like, you're a good person. God loves you.
Yeah.
And then I buy another pack. I donate to TJ Morris. I think that's what they're called. No, TJ Reynolds. Wait, not TJ Reynolds. RJ Reynolds. I'm sorry. RJ Reynolds. Excuse me. I think. I'm hungry, dude. I need some food.
I know. Well, we don't have to cast for super long. We'll just do like 15.
I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna get a pretzel real quick, and Tyler's gonna.
You should have eaten at the show. They had good food there.
I know, dude. I'm a
Just like,
weirdo.
fuck it, when
I'm
you're-
fucking frugal. I'm not spending $15 on
Yeah,
a
but
salad.
you're in
Get
the
the fuck out of
experience.
here. It's
How
not.
often
I
do
don't
you
give
go
a
out?
shit.
Not that much.
I'm not gonna spend. Yeah, I'm already out. I got food here. I don't give a fuck. I'm influenced by my grandma. That's how my grandma was. She was like, no. I don't know. That's just how I am.
Yeah, I try to.
I'm gonna go get a little
I
pretzel.
love, like if I'm out, and I love to just be like, might as well just splurge. And that trait was not the best when I was drinking, because I'd be out and I'd be like, fuck it, what's $10 more? And then fuck it. Because I already have that even when I muted you. I have that even when I'm sober. Like when I'm out, I'm just like, might as well like get the full experience here, you know. So when I'm drinking, when
in Rome. Yeah.
so when I was drinking,
feel-
I would
yeah.
just exactly. When in Rome, I would just be like, well, what's like $35 more on fucking Dairy Queen? Dude, the amount of times I would Irish goodbye from the bar in college, just by myself, just in Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen, dude.
That was a big one.
Yeah. I ate a lot of pizza. I would just get a whole pizza to myself. And I was like, why am I gaining weight right now? I'm just like drinking like
I have one. I only
drinking
have.
24 beers.
I
and
only
being
have.
like,
I
why-
have.
Why am I fucking fat?
I only have one photo. I only have one photo of you where you were chubby. The rest are just of me being chubby.
I can show you. They're on my cloud now, dude.
Yeah, you should show me those. I would like to see. But there was a screenshot of us FaceTiming, and your face was like totally different.
It was bloated, dude. Bloated boy. I'm gonna keep muting myself intermittently. It's because I'm crunching.
That's that Miller High Life.
I drank a lot of Miller High Life. And then when I was like, I'm going to be fancy, I got them in the glass bottles. I'm like, you're a badass bitch. And I would save them like every person does. And then like put flowers in it. I'm like, here's poetic.
Yeah.
Fucking dummy. It's not poetic to drink beer in excess. Calm down, everybody. If you need to go full...
That's just maturity right there. I still do wish. I don't get. I was telling the girlfriend this like 2 days ago. Like, I don't get cravings like I want to, but I do like sometimes wish I could just get fucked up like twice a month. You know? Like on a day where I wouldn't be doing anything really productive anyway, just go out to downtown.
Yeah, but you know it would turn into like you drinking on like
the next morning.
like, at work, you know.
Or like whatever, or just the next morning, cause I'd be, or like it would start out. I'd be like, that was so much fun, and look, I didn't drink for 3 days after that. I'm good.
And then you'd
And
be
then the
like, and then
next
you'd be
week-
drinking like multiple fucking, what are they called? I'm glad I don't remember right now. I'm stony. What are they fucking, like the seltzers?
White Claw?
Yeah, then you'd be like drinking like packs of White Claw out by the pool.
Oh yeah, I would.
Fucking guy, you'd be like out
No, what I would do is I'm a fucking professional, dude. No,
there. Put it in a bottle, I know.
I would put it in a hydro flask, and then I would put 2 shots of Smirnoff in there, shake it up.
And then you'd go out.
Oh
and
fuck.
just start to fucking bake and just be like, I'm a fucking gangster. I didn't drink for 3 days this week. I want to drink excessively for 3 days now. Fucking
It just ends on a brutal hangover, and then be like, okay, I'm an alcoholic, I gotta stop. And then like 4 days later, I'm dude, you're fucking muted.
Also, to add more visual context,
Hold it sideways like this.
I muted myself. Dude, oh, fuck. Whatever. Also, to add more context, dude, you'd be out by the pool, and you'd never flip over. You'd just be, like, really roasted on one side. You'd be, like, a tomato on one side, and the other side, you're pale as a ghost.
Yeah.
And you're, like, fucking drunk, like, walking back. You fall over, and, like, a little kid's like, look, a ghost fell over. And then you get up, and it's like, ooh, a tomato came up.
Oh man.
I feel you, dude.
I'm like it's just dark. I'm like the parents are there. I'm like it's like the couple we saw earlier and they have a kid. It's like 2 years later and they're like walking their like young daughter, and I'm like think I'm being super like fucking nice and shit. I'm like, hey guys, and the mom,
And
the
mom,
parents are
pulls
like,
her-
get
and
the fuck away.
the mom pulls her kid closer to her and like, honey, don't ever be like that, man.
In my head, I would mean well though.
And he'd be like, hey, stop, little girl.
It's a beautiful day.
Do you like ponies?
No, I don't.
Do you like unicorns?
I wouldn't say that.
Who knows, dude? Who knows what's gonna happen in 2 years of binge drinking?
This might just started again.
No.
No.
After fucking drinking White Claw and Smirnoff out of a hydro flask for 2 years.
I will tell you this if you're listening. If you think you might have a drinking problem, you do have a drinking problem. It's just it might not be that bad, but it is there.
You got to
Because
accept
people
it.
that don't have a drinking problem don't contemplate whether or not they have a drinking problem.
But also, there's some people that for sure have drinking problems that also don't contemplate that they have a drinking problem.
That's right. But if you start
But
contemplating,
if you are contemplating it, it means for sure that you definitely have it.
yeah, probably. Exactly. Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I
And
know
when
some
they
people-
when they say it will get better when you stop, like most people, or I think I think most people that quit drinking probably
pretzeled up.
most people that quit drinking do not regret it and say that it was a good thing that they did.
Yeah. And it's also
There's like an off. There's like one person that's off. Like this. Like no, it's I no. But it's like then that person's not ready to quit drinking yet.
I
you know
think
what mean?
also with quitting anything, and especially something that's so socially acceptable, is that it's not fun immediately. It's actually really fucking hard, and like it feels ostracizing. That was, because like you feel kind of alone in that, especially when you're around people that you used to drink with, and even if they're cool about it, you still feel some sort of loss.
Yeah.
So it's not immediately cool, and there's also still gonna be those moments where you're like, "Fuck, dude, I wish I could just be a
Yes.
fucking
It
person.
was a little bit different for me because I knew
I wish I could just fucking be a person, dude."
I
There's still that fucking like
for-
it's kind of I'm sorry.
I
It's
understand.
melancholy.
I was at that point a long time ago though, because I already knew I was better without it, and I already knew everything was better when I was not drinking. So like when I would stop, I'd be like, "Yay, everything's better."
Yeah. Yeah. But you never felt that socially, like when people are
No,
drinking?
I did, but it was like a while ago.
Yeah.
You know, it was like a while. It was like multiple years ago. It wasn't
Man,
like
don't
I
know.
already
Yeah.
I already had it in my head that I like deep in my psyche that I knew I was better off without it. So that I don't know, dude.
That's
I don't
that's
know.
dude,
I
that's
don't know.
fucking dope. That's fucking sick.
But yeah, for sure. Like
Does it come up
but
ever?
in college and stuff for sure. If I had to stop,
But does
it was like super shitty.
does it ever come up for you now or no?
What?
Like I wish I could drink and like be like with these people in a full way right now. That's what my brain tells
Sorta.
me. My brain is like, you piece of shit. You can't be with these people fully right now. That's how it feels, you know.
I'm not around drunk people that often though.
I kind of am.
So I don't know.
The nature of my job.
Yeah, I'm not really, but like sometimes people will drink wine at work as like part of, whatever. But it doesn't I don't I'm trying to think the last time I was really around like drunk people for a prolonged amount of time. It was probably at Outside Lands last year, and like the whole time I was like I'm glad I'm not drinking.
Dude, that's fucking sick.
So I don't know.
Nice, dude.
I don't know. I don't
No,
really
that's
like,
awesome.
get that.
No, that's awesome. Your girlfriend also isn't drinking, which is like that's fucking cool, dude. You guys are just out there like being baller, badass bitches. It's like like sometimes stoned to the gills, but mostly just like balls to the wall reality. You're still ripping your geek bar, but that's sick, dude. I'm fucking proud of you. That's cool. We're out here.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm missing out on much.
Yeah.
Like we could have gone to that show. We could have gotten like fucked up before. It's like no, it would have been.
I wouldn't have really even remembered. That's the
Yeah.
thing. That's what's cool about it. Is like, yeah, you're like
don't
more
know.
fully there. I would argue that like, and because, but also I've smoked weed a lot, and so, but I would argue that like you're less impaired and more there when you're high on weed than drinking.
Yeah, dude.
I know that that's not like profound, but yeah, you're right. I should hold it sideways. It's like much more comfortable.
But you're also not getting like you're smoking consistently, but you're not getting like obliterated.
Some on the weekend I do.
No, I
sometimes.
know, but there's
Dude, Tyler, like when your schedule was different, and like you weren't here the 2 days that I was off, there were some Saturdays where I would like get fucked like with weed, like especially when I was fresh off the kratom.
I did that when I was fresh off the.
I
kratom.
would like it was.
You
bad.
remember?
I would smoke like a lot, dude.
You remember
like,
that day where I
like an eighth.
You remember that day where I threw out my keys
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
and
dude.
you, and you thought you were like, did you take kratom today? And I was so offended.
Dude, but I mean, like, you were acting like fucking like ridiculous.
Because
Like,
I was high. I was high. as
I know,
fuck.
but like I'm sorry. Like it was fresh, and my spidey senses were like, the pendulum swung too far. But like when somebody throws out their keys, I'm like, I
You've
don't
never done that high
not
before?
on marijuana. No.
Yes, you have.
I've never thrown my
You've
keys in
almost,
the trash.
I'm sure you've almost crashed your car on weed.
Dude, that's different than throwing your keys
No,
in the
it's not,
trash,
dude.
and
I've
you
done
shouldn't
way
drive
I've
stoned.
done way worse shit.
It's
stoned.
not a worse thing. It's like I don't know, dude. It's a conscious decision.
I saw something, but you're not really conscious because you're so fucking high.
You know what I mean?
Like I
though.
saw this guy on TikTok.
I
I saw this guy on TikTok.
I've also almost crashed not on weed, but I've never almost
No, I
thrown
don't
my
know.
keys away.
I don't know. I threw him away.
Okay, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I thought you. I just like that was you were acting really fucking like out of it, and you're like, I'm just smoking weed, and I was like, okay, and then you're like, I threw my keys away, and I was like, what the
Dude,
fuck?
that's like, dude, we've taken edibles and been like, oh my god.
Of course, but
I've
I'd
seen
never
people-
thrown
I've
my
seen
keys
people
away.
Roll their eyes backwards and pass out from edibles.
Yeah, fucking lightweight jabronis,
Not
dude.
necessarily- But like this
Nah,
guy,
fuck
this guy
you.
on TikTok who's
Get
like
ready,
known
dude.
for weed, but he can't handle edibles for whatever reason.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
he just is just like he's like I don't understand. He was saying like I don't understand how you guys take like 100+ milligrams, and I was like, well, whatever, because he's just some people just don't do edibles
No, I
like
get
that.
it. I get it, dude.
right?
I'm not trying. I'm being facetious
But he said
a little bit.
he said he was trying to just take like a 10 milligram gummy and took 100 by accident, and then he got a bowl of cereal,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he went to his room. I don't know who the guy is on TikTok. I would shout him out if I remember, but I like
Yeah.
he had his iPhone and he got a bowl of cereal, and in his head he was like, I need to throw my iPhone onto the bed, right?
And he
Threw
put.
the bowl of cereal onto the bed instead. Like shit like that happens, dude. Like,
I know.
You can't,
I know.
you can't tell me you haven't done something like that. And
I
it's
know.
just
I've,
not
I've for
fresh
su-
in your
I've,
brain.
I've for sure done something like that, but crashing your car is different than throwing your keys in the trash.
Okay, well,
I know what you mean.
that's the same thing as throwing your keys in the trash.
Crashing your
Like
car.
throwing your throwing cereal on on your
yes.
bed by accident.
Let me think about it. You're right. I'm sorry. I was just like I still think I'm also being
That day
facetious.
was WrestleMania, and I was pumped, and I
know,
was
I
pumped. I
know.
was off kratom, so I was.
I was
fucking-
being facetious a little bit.
But you were just like, I was just like, no, I'm not on.
You got mad. I get it. It was yeah.
And then in my head, I was like, he doesn't believe me.
No, I believed you. I believed you when you told me.
He was like, he doesn't believe me.
Like there was times when I was trying to hide it from you, and you'd ask directly, and I'd be like, "Yeah, dude, of course. I would never like lie to you. I obfuscate. I do that a lot. I'm aware that it's toxic.
Well, there was one time where I was.
I omit.
You thought you were being like
slick, dude.
Like I threw something in our recycle over there, and
you
I
heard
the
it.
clank of the glass.
Yeah, and
I
then
was like, "What the fuck?"
And-
and
yeah.
I looked in there like 2 Feel Free bottles.
Fucking
And I was
dummy.
like,
And I like, and I in the end,
in my head, I'm like, he's a fucking drug addict. And I'm sober. I'm sober.
dude, and also like when I did that, when I was trying to hide it from you, I remember being like high on Feel Free and like putting them in the I threw them in the recycling and then they were like still showing and then like I put something on top of them. I was like, yeah, that's good. He'll never know.
you can't outsmart someone who's done everything that you've already done, or whatever. You know what I mean?
He'll never know, dude.
Like,
I'm a fucking gangster. I'm just out here on loan, dude. No, I don't need nobody. I'm gonna lie to my best friend. I don't need nobody, dude. I'm gonna fucking just pound 6 of these a day.
I don't
Fuck
want.
you.
I don't want him to worry.
Yeah, I don't want. I'm embarrassed. I don't want him to worry. He doesn't get it.
I get it, dude.
He doesn't.
If
he
anyone
doesn't-
gets it, I
he
get
doesn't
it.
get it, dude. He doesn't get that I can do it. I'm fine with it.
I used to.
He's the pussy.
I used to drink. I used to drink my.
fucking.
I used to like steal like a couple beers from my dad or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and then I did this long before I had a problem with drinking.
Let me pop 6 of these.
Right,
a day, dude.
but I
Not
would
tell
drink,
anybody.
but I would drink like, oh, he's not gonna notice that I took like 4 IPAs, right? And that I would like hide them I would like put them in the kitchen, like fucking, like in the kitchen recycle, just in like, and I just like tuck them under like some other shit, make sure they were kind of in the middle, but like on the bottom.
Same thing, dude. Yeah. Same
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah.
Same vibe. And he would notice, right? He would notice because
Sometimes.
I mean, he would. There's 2 ways he could notice: seeing them in the recycling and then seeing them not in the fridge.
My
He-
mom would notice more. My dad's not the most like
Yeah.
whenever my mom would like go out of town to like see my grandma or something, and my
Ooh.
dad was just my dad,
That was my neck,
and it
folks.
was just my dad. I would be like, fuck yeah, party's on. Even though like if my dad had found me, he'd get more pissed, right?
He'd never find you.
But like there was one.
Your mom is like a hawk.
Yeah, there
Your-
was one time.
Your dad is like a. Go ahead. I'm gonna think about the animal that he is. The way that he. Go ahead.
There was one time when my mom left. I don't know where she went. We still lived in Nashville, or I was still there. And my mom was out of town, and it was a school night, and like my dad went to sleep, and I was like, I took his. I think I've already talked about this maybe on the podcast, but I didn't have a license yet, but I had my permit and I knew how to drive, and I took his white Mercedes and drove like to like the rural part of Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Like outside of the city,
Yes.
and like bought weed,
Yeah.
smoked it, and like drove back.
Smoked it in the car.
No, but I drove home, then smoked it,
Uh-huh.
went to bed, and got up at whatever 6:30 the next day and went to school.
And he didn't
One time-
did he notice or no?
No, I did this. They never caught me stealing the car. That's one thing I'm very proud of.
Dude. no catch on the fucking
But I
steal.
have
Grand Theft Auto, dude. Fuck
But
you,
I-
dude. My
I
parents
ha-
are loving and they've always supported me. Stole their fucking car multiple times. They never caught me. Proud of it.
I have snitched,
Suck my dick.
I
My
have
name's
s- I have
Tyler.
snitched on like
Sorry. I'm
there have
sorry.
been times where I'm like all on my high horse and I'm like what, and my parents are like, we knew everything,
And
I'm
you-
like,
and you're like-
and then
and
I'm
it-
like, did you know that I would steal your car?
Did you tell them?
Yeah, I've told them, but
What'd
I
they
didn't tell
say?
them in like how I did it. But like there were times where
What'd they say? They're like, no.
they went silent, and I was like, in my yeah, dude.
Tyler, why would you brag about that?
I
to
didn't
your
brag,
That's
no.
bragging.
No,
What-
but
what's
I-
the point of saying that? Tell me.
don't
Seriously,
know.
think about it and tell me. You're bragging to your parents. You're like, you don't fucking know me, dude. I fucking stole your car. I can't believe you told them. That's
one
that's-
time
That's bonkers, dude. You
I
got
probably
away
told,
with it.
This is a good
the-
story.
Tyler, it's the perfect crime. You said you're proud of it, and then you're like, here's the fucking heist, guys.
Cause there's other shit that I would never tell them.
But
They
you,
don't.
okay. Like
Anyways,
what would you never
there's-
tell? Tell us. Tell the internet. Tell me. Tell the internet.
well, here's the story of when I stole the car one time.
If
that
this
I-
ever gets popular, they will hear this. Let's get fucking popular. Let's ruin your life with your parents. Sorry, we love you guys. Can I say their names? I'm not going
No,
to.
don't.
We love you.
Um,
You're
but-
beautiful. I'm sorry that.
But this was
I'm
also
sorry.
this was
I'm so
also when I
sorry.
was 15 and didn't have a license yet. I still had a permit. It was like a Friday night, and his older brother was in college, and but he was watching him, and they were like, their parents were out of town, so it was the older brother in college, and then us, we were freshmen. He was a freshman in college, and we were freshmen in high school, and their parents were gone. I took the car, went and drank like a lot of beer for a 15-year-old, right? Probably like 6 or 7.
Rock on, brother. And then you
And was,
drove
like,
home.
hitting the bong and shit, and then I drove home.
Tyler, don't do this, anybody.
Don't do this.
Don't do. It's not good for anybody. It's dangerous for Tyler and other people.
Right.
Not good. But they never know.
They didn't know. They didn't catch me. They never caught me.
I mean, like a doctor.
They caught me
I
sneaking
feel you,
out.
dude.
They caught me
I
sneaking
yeah, I
out, but
feel
they
you.
never caught me the times where I snuck out and took the car. I don't know how. And we had like a gravel fucking driveway, and I would drive on the gravel driveway like super slow.
I think either God and or the devil were with you. They were like God. One or the two of them was
both.
God.
Both were with me.
Yeah, but one of them was like, let's not wake them up this time. Like, let's not set the chain of events in motion that gets one of these guys up. And
And
it's
was
like,
it God or the devil? I don't know. But either way, both were with me at both of all of those times. The devil was driving me to make bad decisions, but God was keeping
I
me
do
safe.
feel you about being proud of like hiding shit. It's weird. But that's part of like being a bad boy. Like you just like you're like I'm gonna hide it. Nobody's gonna know.
Dude, it's a fucking thrill.
And it's also like, dude, part of it is like like what Pete Holmes was talking about. Like you're like, I'm fucking Jason Bourne. I'm a fucking spy, dude. They can't fucking catch me. They don't know where
dude,
I'm at.
it was
I'm a
fu-
fucking ghost.
We've
dude.
talked about this so many times.
Ghost
We're gonna talk
Recon.
about it on the podcast.
Ghost
so-
Recon, dude.
But where we would
You can't see me. I'm fucking John Cena.
just
bitch.
like the steps we would take to like smoke on school nights and not get caught. Like
yeah, dude. It was.
we had and you'd have a system. Like it was like
I also memorized going up and down both of my different parents' steps without making a sound.
Yeah.
You know.
but you had to go through
Tyler, I had it on hard mode.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to memorize 2 houses. There's like like in heist movies, there's like a blueprint of like where they're gonna heist.
Yeah.
For me, I had 2 blueprints, and it was
Yeah.
always the movers and shakers in the blueprints were always shifting.
Well, so were mine, but you just had 2 of them.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had 2 moving and shifting blueprints.
My blueprints were always changing too, but like you would get better at it.
Yeah, but then like a house guest would come over and like being and I'd be like, "Fuck you, dude! You're gonna throw this whole thing off," and they fucking did every single time. You know, like if on a normal school night, my call time's like 11:30, right? At one of the houses, I'm not gonna say which, but like at one of the houses,
I
it was
know which
11:30,
house, yeah.
And then like when a house guest came over, they're like, "We're gonna stay up late, dude." And then the call was like 1 a.m, and I was like, "I gotta get up in 5 hours."
How am I supposed to get high before I go and watch my videos?
They're really
before
fucking.
I go to sleep.
They're really fucking with my schedule here. And I was like, I don't have a problem. They do. Fuck these guys. I just want to smoke weed in peace, you know. And now I have all the access and time, other than working, to like rip it as much as I want. And I don't really.
The lengths we would go.
It was
to
ridiculous,
to like, smoke
dude.
like a bowl
And
before
how?
bed.
And, dude, it was so. And that dude. Oh my god.
Dude, you remember how big the house is in Tennessee, or like how like it's
Yeah. Yes.
and it's like a big yard, but there's just one.
it's just like the mission.
There were nights where I'd be like in the bathroom on the other side of the house, like like on the bottom floor next to my dad's office, just like scraping resin off the bowl, trying to like fucking smoke something.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like Mission Impossible playing in your head as you're going.
Impossible rich kid stoner edition, like.
Yeah. I did memorize like the squeaky steps, you know. I would like avoid them.
Yeah, but you had to hit
Dude.
you had to hit the squeaks to memorize them.
Yeah, it's true. I would test it at night too, or like during the day.
Yeah. What are you doing, Sam? Like, why are you walking?
Why are you going up and down the stairs? I'm like, I'm just getting my steps in, dude. Just getting my steps in.
I would just be like, hey, like I just like my parents would like be in the room, be like, hey, you guys going to bed? Like, what's going on?
What's your guys' plan tomorrow? When are you getting up? I just want to know about your day tomorrow.
You guys doing anything? Like, I gotta like, all right, I gotta wake up and not. I gotta wake up early because they're gonna be out of the house so I can smoke weed.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like we were addicted.
Yeah. Like when my stepdad would go out of town, my mom's like, "Okay, I'm gonna take your sister to school at 7:30." I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna get up at 6 in the morning. I'm gonna get fully prepared. I'm gonna put on my deodorant. I'm gonna do my whole hair routine. I'm gonna eat my breakfast, and I'm gonna be like, okay, bye guys, I'm going to school too. Walk out the door, shut the door, bye. They leave. I get in my car, and then I get out of my car.
Oh, did you do that?
I did that consistently. It was so bad, dude. It was not good.
Why didn't you just stay in that house before they left?
Because like I had to be there, you know. I don't know. And I was like, it was the same. It was the same. It's like the thrill of being like, they don't know, dude. I'm a fucking spy. Meanwhile, my mom's like, okay, I know what you're doing. There were so many times, dude. There were so many times.
For the listeners, Sam would drive around with the. Maybe we already talked about this.
I don't know if we should talk.
Sam drove around with a huge gallon of water for his bong in his car.
Yeah, I did. And sometimes, and then at one point where I was just being crusty, I would have like 2 bottles. I would have one for used and one for like new, and then like the used one, I would reuse it sometimes. Yeah. I was like, I need to address this water crisis. I feel like I'm contributing a lot to it.
That's so funny.
Um,
Be like, no, we gotta smoke out of a bong.
dude, if
while
we,
I'm driving,
Dude,
I
if we-
have to. It has to be a
dude,
bong.
I had a system. I was safe.
It has to be a bong.
You know what I will say is that doing that, I can now drive with one hand like no problem.
Yeah, dude.
Like I actually prefer it. I rarely use my right hand. I'm usually just like, and I feel like I feel like a G, dude. Like I don't know, like my fucking wrist, like resting on the handlebar or the fucking the steering wheel, the handlebar, the steering wheel of the car.
Yeah, like if I'm ever driving with my mom and she's like, this has just happened in the past, like, or she's like, you need to drive with 2 hands, and I'm like, Mom, you don't even know what I'm doing. Like,
You don't know what I'm capable of.
yeah,
huh?
you have no idea what I'm capable.
You didn't see my training
I think-
regimen.
I think-
I put myself and others at risk to train for this moment.
I think if like our parents
Every stroller that went
Maybe-
past my
maybe-
car, I could have killed. In
Maybe
another
you're
timeline, I'm still in jail
maybe
because I killed a toddler.
Maybe your dad wouldn't be as surprised, but I think if like all of our
sorry.
parents like saw our like what we were actually doing, they'd be like, "Oh my god."
No, I think nah, dude. I mean,
I don't know, dude. We're pretty fucking crazy. I don't know.
maybe you're right. Yeah, but maybe they just don't. They don't need to know. It's okay.
No, they don't need to.
I've also I've told all
dude,
of them.
and like the kids,
they know to a certain extent, and also you take one look at me, you're like, this guy's fucking.
Not, but it's but we were just like, why? Like, I don't know.
When I also continued to be wild for like a decade, like I continued to just be like, let's get as fucked as I can. Let's like not be.
I know.
here.
I'm just talking about.
I did-
I'm
I did-
talking
I did-
mainly- I'm
I did-
talking mainly
I-
about the shit we were up to, just like in high school.
I know.
It's just so funny.
I did stop like eventually I was like, I don't really want to be stoned driving around. It's like not fun. It makes me anxious.
Yeah.
It really does, and I don't like it anymore either. I've tried it. Like I've like not smoking while I'm driving, but I've definitely like gotten high and then gotten in my car and been like, nah. And then I pull over and I'm like, I'm gonna sit for like, I can't do it. I don't know. I also used to go to work. I used to go to work and school, like stoned to the gills, and I don't like doing that anymore. I like smoking when I can be fucking stony and weird. I don't like trying to hold it together.
This
It's
is
not fun.
Kids, do not try this at home. There was
Don't
one-
do any of this.
don't
It's
do
not
any-
admirable.
don't
It's
do
fucking
any-
stupid.
No,
dude.
it's
like for
really
real.
dumb.
Like don't do it. Like play video games. Like don't get addicted to that either. Go touch grass. The thing I will say about doing drugs is that it forces you to go outside. It's inevitable. You have to go outside.
You
got-
definitely get
you
some.
know,
You definitely get some life experience.
especially if you're a kid. Especially if you're a kid doing drugs. Like you can't just be like in your house. Like I'm just gonna pop pills and like smoke weed in here. You have to go outside. You know, you got to be out with the trees. I think that is a positive. We just could put it on the record. But kids, go outside without doing drugs. You can do it. If I couldn't do it, you can. I could do it for a while. I was holding it for a sec. You know.
Just dude, yeah, you're just talking about. Yeah,
You know what I mean, though.
I was gonna say.
I still feel that way about cigarettes. Like cigarettes, like you have to go outside to do them, and you're just out there, like looking at the moon, and you're like, I'm here, just like this little ant on this rock looking at a celestial body. Those stars are from galaxies that may have expired billions of years ago. I'm just here smoking this cig. It's cool. I don't feel that really in this apartment. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Sorry, dude. I'm fucking.
There is something to say.
soapbox.
There is something to say though about just like made a lot of fucked up decisions, but I wouldn't change it for the world. The times where we would leave for no reason to go get high. Hold those close to my heart.
Yeah, I do. I mean, some of them I do, but also
Some of them.
I also remember distinctly that there were times where I was like, I don't want to fucking. Why do we have to do this? You know?
This isn't fair. Mom and Dad won't let me
No,
smoke.
no, not even that. Like it got old how much we would like go to our spots.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
I
I don't want.
remember there
I
was-
was like, I don't want to fucking do this.
I remember when
I,
that's.
it became like a drudgery thing. I was like,
remember when
fuck.
when that started to happen in like the summer before senior year.
Yeah.
We would like drive back and forth to the same spot.
Ugh, dude, it was so boring.
It was so
It
boring.
was so boring. Yeah.
Well, it's because you know why it sucked is because we weren't giving anything to the world. We were
No.
just consuming.
Yes, and we also like if you do the same thing over and over and over again,
Yeah.
especially if it's something that like is a quick dopamine hit, and it is, and it was, and it continues to be, and you have to acknowledge that too.
Uh-huh.
If you do it consistently, eventually it's like this doesn't do it anymore. I need something more. And I this is a Republican take, but I do think that any drug, and especially weed at a young age, it makes you crave something more. And I think not everybody, but I think that is true if you do it consistently.
Yeah, it's not really a gateway, but it is kind of.
It's not a gateway to other drugs, it's a gateway to a behavior. But it's also
Right.
addictive tendencies are kind of innate in all humans. We're all addicted to something. So
I think-
it's
I
not
think-
really weed's fault is
I
my
think,
point.
no,
But I
yeah,
think it
no,
is like
it's not. It's never the drugs. I think.
with anything that you
Fuck. What was I gonna say?
quick dopamine,
No.
marijuana.
Yeah. Keep talking. I just forgot what I was gonna say.
Sorry, dude. I was soapboxing. I feel like this is a good
No,
one.
I think yeah. If you're smoking a lot of weed, but like you have an action plan of like what you're doing,
What
other
you
than
wanna
other
do?
than smoking weed, like it's okay. You know, but if your end goal is just to smoke weed,
Yeah,
it's not. It's
Dude,
not gonna
yes. Yeah, if all of your waking hours are dedicated to figuring out when and how you're going to smoke
Yeah.
or do anything really. Even if it's healthy, dude. Even if it's like running, if all you're thinking about all day is running and like how you're going to get another run in and like running 4 times a day,
Mm-hmm.
like that's not good for you either. There's
No.
documentaries about it.
No, but I think, yeah, you have to have like an action plan, and if weed goes with your action plan, that's fine. But if your only action plan is to smoke weed, it's not.
Yeah, if it's the end all be all.
It's okay if that's your action plan for a little bit, but if that becomes your
but I'll-
only,
It's also like if that's your solution. Like that was also my problem when I hit that wall in high school, like middle of senior year, is like I thought it was like the solution to my pain and like how, like I don't know, just all the things that you're experiencing in high school, like I thought it was the solution to how I was feeling in my heart, and like trying to fill that hole. And I'm like, this is filling it.
Yeah.
And I believed that it was filling it
I remember
to the point that I vested all of my like emotional interest in the weed.
Uh-huh.
And eventually it's not going to do it for you.
Uh-huh.
You have to have, just as you're
Yeah,
saying.
for me, I remember having during that time. I remember having a lot of feelings, and one of the feelings was like, "What am I doing? I'm just like, what? I'm not doing anything."
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah. And then also like coupled with like, okay, go to college now. What do you want to do with your life? And I'm like, I don't want to do anything but smoke weed, and like not feel how I'm feeling. Really, that's what it boiled down to. Like, I don't know. I want to feel good. Like that's what, I don't know. And I was like, well, I'll just go to college and smoke weed and like drink a lot. And I tried that. That didn't really. And it's not. Happiness isn't there. If your solution to happiness is that, it's not gonna get you there.
For me, for a while.
I don't know.
I
I didn't get there
hear
with
ya.
it.
Yeah.
Maybe some people do get there with it though.
For me, for a while, I was like, why is it making me feel worse? Like,
I know.
fuck, dude.
Yeah,
And then I would
dude,
just
yeah.
try again, and I would feel worse again.
Yeah,
And then
dude,
I was
yeah.
like, damn it, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
This sucks.
In some, yeah, I feel that 100%.
I was like, why is it?
In some server, like Snapchat server, there's like a memory from like I sent you a picture, and I saved it as a memory. But I sent you a picture of like a half-smoked bowl out of a bong, like when we came back from college, like November of the first year. And I was like, weed is trippy. It's made me feel weird again or whatever. Weed made me trip out, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was also going through that. I was like, yeah, it does not make you feel better. You're like, it usually makes me feel better. You're like, now I feel fucking worse.
Yeah, that was when I started tripping.
Yeah.
In high school, though, I was like, now I feel like this makes me feel worse now. Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
And then and then everything shattered after that.
I mean, it is existential because you're like, I found the solution, and then it's like the solution is hurting you.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah, and you're like, well, what do I do now? And then you're like, is anything real? What am I supposed to, Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah. And then after that, I was like, I'm just gonna drink. It's more social and like. And then, but I also still, I smoke.
Yeah, but then I would just smoke weed and drink, and I'd be like, oh, now it's better.
Yeah, now I'm fine. What were all those panicky thoughts before? I know what I'm doing. I'm living the life. Like, yeah. So, yeah.
And then my sophomore year, I would still just smoke and not really drink, and it's I don't know. Shit was weird, dude. I was a fucking mess inside my head.
I was too. I arguably still am, you know?
Yeah, no.
But in a different way. And I'm growing. And I'm also, like, not as mean to myself. And I also, like, am more comfortable being uncomfortable with myself. You know?
Yeah, no, I hear you. What I was gonna say before is, don't try this at home, but I remember I was house sitting at that one house. I was house sitting there.
At the cat house.
Yeah, we could say it. Doesn't matter.
The
I was
cat
house sitting at
house.
and I had been like drinking a little bit like the morning, but I had to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and I wasn't like that fucked up, but I was like, I can drive back to Rat Palace. Right.
Yeah.
And I took an edible, and I like a gummy.
Yeah.
And like my weed tolerance wasn't really up there at that point. But I was like, I'll be fine. And then I was like kind of falling asleep on the couch, and then I was like, oh shit, I have to leave, but the edible didn't hit yet. And then I was like kind of
Wait, were they coming back?
Yeah, they were coming back, and I had to leave.
How many out? Like, what was your timeline? When were
They were coming back later that day, but I was fine. But I had to leave, and I had to drive home, and I was on the freeway, and the edible just fucking smacked me. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get another DUI. Like, I was so fucked up on the freeway. And there was traffic, and I was just like, this is so bad. But I made it.
Did you pull over?
No,
No, you just like wrote it out.
I made it. Yeah, it was so bad.
Oh, that's and you were like,
There's so much.
And
Don't ever drive under the influence.
Don't do it. It's fucking
so
stupid.
bad. I've
It's
done
stupid.
it way too many
and
times.
it's not.
I'm here to tell the tale, but I did get arrested once, and I could have gotten arrested or worse many times.
It's also, it's just, yeah, it's not, it's also like for me, like it's something that is actually one of like my deepest regrets and like keeps me up at night. I'm like, what if I killed somebody?
Yeah, there were
you know?
times, dude. There were
It's
times.
fucking not good.
There were
It's
times.
really not good.
Yeah, there were times
It's
before.
causing me lasting harm. You know
There-
what I mean?
yeah.
Like I didn't hurt anybody, but I still think about it. Like pretty much every time I drive, and especially if I'm driving on roads where I used to be fucked up on, it's like it's not fun.
Dude, there was a time where we would never drink and drive, and then we slowly,
Ugh,
and then
yeah.
we'd have like 6 or 7 beers, and then we'd
Well,
wait.
like the opportunity, like it's the same thing with anything. Like we were idealistic. The opportunity hadn't presented itself where it was like this would be a major inconvenience if I don't drive home right now. Because that's what it is. It's an inconvenience. That's why you drive.
It's
Like
selfish.
it's selfish. You're like, I don't want to have to go pick up my car tomorrow or
Or, like-
explain why I couldn't drive home.
Right.
You know, it's selfish. It's like this is gonna inconvenience me. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, and I'd be like, I'll only drink 6 beers, and then it would be like eight beers.
I would, yeah, I would
wait
dude,
like
I-
an wait
Yeah,
like an
yeah.
hour, and then drive
Yeah.
and then
the
drive across
rational
town.
the rationalizing hour where you're like, I'm a good person. I'm waiting, dude. And they're like, you're driving home? Yeah, dude. I'm gonna wait like an hour and a half. And then sometimes I would wait like 45 minutes. I'm like, I'm fucking good.
There would be times.
It's the same thing with like, I'm sorry. It's the same thing with like a flu shot where they're like, you gotta wait 15 minutes, and I would be sitting in that chair, and I'm like, 5 minutes go by, I'm like, I'm fucking
That's
good.
not even close to the same
It's
thing.
the same fucking vibe though. It's like I'm fucking, you know, like I'm gonna wait for an hour, and then you're like, nah, 45 minutes is fine. I'm out.
But even like an hour is like more like 7 hours.
Yeah, you gotta wait much longer than that.
There'd be times where I'd go to hang out with you, and I'd get in the habit of just like getting moderately fucked up. We both did this though, I think.
I did, of course.
And
yeah,
then, and then
yeah.
and then I would just drive home, and we just started doing that. And then we, as you do that more, you get more and more you get more and more just like, it's fine.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Oh, dude,
yeah.
our good buddy, I'm not gonna say his name, but
He
our,
used to be
one of our
vehemently against
third,
it.
yeah, he
Yeah.
was so
and
against
now
it.
he's so pro.
Now he's not pro. He's just like whatever, dude.
No,
It's just
that's literally pro. He's pro drinking and driving.
no, he's not pro.
Tyler,
no, one's-
no, he is. Like he encouraged. He's like, it's fine, dude. That's literally pro drinking and
well,
driving.
Yeah,
It's not good.
like
That's one
flip
of the
the
things I
switch.
disagree with him on the most. And he gets pissed about it when I challenge him. I'm like, dude, it's not responsible anyway. He's like, you've done it. I'm like, I don't do it now. It's not a good look. It's dangerous. It's not cool. It's not good for anybody. What if you crash and die? What if you bend around a fucking tree? What if you don't kill anybody but yourself? It still sucks for everybody involved. And even, what if you
Yeah.
kill a fucking child?
I
or
remember. I
anybody?
remember there was one time where I drove
just-
it,
I
and
don't know.
he wouldn't let me have. He wouldn't let me have one beer at the party,
Yeah, dude.
and I was so mad.
He was such a fucking yeah.
I
he
wanted
was-
to drink one Budweiser,
And
and he
even
was like,
I was like, dude, you're fine. You have one.
and he
then
was like,
wait.
no.
He's like, I will not get in the car.
3 years later, he's like, yeah, dude, we're just gonna go do a wine tasting. Fucking, we'll be good.
I'm just gonna drink like a quick bottle and just get in the car on the freeway. It's like
It's fine, dude. I love him, but still.
I love him too, but it's also like it's still not cool. You can love somebody and be like, that's a fucking dick move, and I kind of hate you for it. I'm sorry. I mean, I hate myself for having done it a little bit. It's not cool. It's really not cool. Like in the highest sense, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely a fucking ride, but don't do it.
Do not fucking
I'm
do
not
it. It's not a
glorifying it.
good ride. It's actually like even when like yeah, dude. And then like the moment when you get home and like you're like, oh, I made it.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm a fucking G. That's the worst part is your brain.
And
like,
now
hey,
I have to
dude,
sneak into my
dude,
parents'
and
house.
and your fucking ego finds a way of being like, that was cool, dude. You're fucking sick, dude. You're not supposed to do that, but you did it and you didn't hurt anybody. You're fucking, you didn't hurt yourself. You didn't crash. You followed all the rules, dude. You stayed in your lane. You're a fucking baller. Like, no, dude. Your ego's lying to you. That's a bitch ass move. You're a selfish prick. Don't do it. Okay? PSA. Don't do it, you fucking losers.
Don't do it. Someone's gonna listen to this and do it.
Don't fucking
don't
do it.
But
don't
don't
fucking do it, dude. If you do it, fuck you and fuck your life and fuck your ancestors and fuck your kids. Fuck everybody. Fuck you. Don't do it. Okay? Maybe not. I don't know. Sorry. It's just not cool, dude. I'm getting very passionate. I think we should call it soon.
We'll call it soon.
I'm on one, dude. I just saw my Lord and Savior Pete Holmes. He spoke to me directly.
Yeah, he was funny.
He looked deep into my eyes.
It was just good vibes.
From 30 feet away, and he was like, "I see you." He did address one of his fans, and I was like, "That could be me." Pete.
Yeah, no, he's a good dude. He was a little more.
Pete. He was edgier than he thought he was gonna be. I know.
I don't know.
Dude,
like
he loves getting down.
no, cause yeah, he's like that. No, he's like that in the specials I've seen.
He
but
gets down.
He's like I guess just the most recent clips I've seen of him have been a little bit more softer. So I did.
Which clips? Like, well, yeah, I mean,
no, just like I don't know.
on Reels, of course they're softer.
I don't know, because the perceptions are on Reels or something like that.
I mean, he does have resting, as he said, he has resting Latter-day Saint face. I mean, he looks
know.
like a fucking pastor. He
Yeah.
looks like he should just be like, "Hey, hey, folks,
No, but he was.
do you love Christ?
But he was just funny because he came.
You
out,
want to get better with the
He
Lord?"
came out hard and it was funny.
Yeah, he came out fucking swinging, dude. Fucking cracking bats over people's heads. Are you kidding me? Get out there. And I liked what he said about, like, you did the thing. You're out here. I'm like, I am. Thank you for noticing. I don't normally venture out.
Yeah, it's funny.
I fucking love him, dude. He's my guy. I would die for him, dude.
Dude, calm down.
No, the cult of Pete Holmes, dude. What do you mean, calm down? Calm down my love for Pete? Never. It's burning hot. I have a full boner right now.
I know you do.
A platonic,
You were so excited for him.
A
He was good.
a platonic mentor
good.
boner. He's like my mentor, platonic
I knew
boner.
he was gonna be like. I knew he was gonna be good. I'm glad that it was like sold out.
He speaks to me, dude.
For a sec, when we walked in there, I was like, "Oh no, there's no one on the top."
No, dude, it's sold. He did it. Because he's a badass little bitch.
He did. Okay.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go smoke cigarettes outside and think about Pete Holmes and how much I love him. We love you, Pete.
All right, we love you, Pete, and we love you guys.
Thanks for joining. We'll see you next week.
Suck a penis, don't drink and drive.
Do both those. Maybe at the same time. Don't drink and drive and suck a penis.
All right.
It's actually pretty attainable. It's not a. It's like
Probably not as hard as you think.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty good double task because it's like one of them's.
Okay, dude.
I'm sorry, one of them's passive. You know, it's like not drinking and driving. I guess it's kind of an active at some points, but it's like if you're sucking dick, you're probably not driving.
There were times.
If you're sucking dick and drinking and driving at the same time, you're gonna die.
That's the devil right there. Okay. All right.
That's the devil right there, brothers.
All right, one love. Peace out.
Peace
See
out.
you on the next one.
Peace out, bitches.